The dynamic duo today. Yin and yang, perhaps the most ancient Chinese idea on record, remain intricately involved in the daily life of Chinese people today. Chinese architects consult Taoist geomancers prior to constructing modern day skyscrapers, and Chinese doctors apply the system in diagnosing and treating patients. Chinese chefs balance ingredients and harmonize flavors according to their natural affinities and so forth. Perhaps one reason that Chinese students today excel so remarkably in modern quantum theory and nuclear physics is that they already possess an inherent understanding of yin and yang, which is precisely the direction modern physicists are taking today. While most Western scientists continue to ignore the ancient Chinese theory of yin and yang, the few with sufficient imagination to explore the field with unbiased objectivity have been consistently amazed by its accuracy. Solier de Morant, a French consul in Shanghai who introduced Chinese acupuncture to Europe, wrote in 1919, quote, "The Chinese call the positive energy yang and attribute its origin to the sun and stars. The negative energy is called yin and they attribute its origin to the earth. How could the ancient Chinese, for these are ideas reproduced from works that date from the 28th century BC, have perceived these forces and, under the name yang energy, distinguish positive atmospheric electricity, and under the yin energy, the negative charge of the earth?" Unquote. The secret, of course, is that proceeding from the fundamental Taoist premise that the human body is a microcosm of the universe, Taoist adepts gain deep understanding of universal cosmic forces by observing and feeling the effects within their own organs and energy networks. While Western science had to wait until the development of equipment sufficiently sensitive to observe, measure, and record light waves, electric pulses, and atomic particles, Taoists simply sat still and did nothing, long enough to awaken their own inner reflections of the universe. Fortunately for Western philosophy, Western science has finally broken through the barrier of dualism and is now beginning to confirm the traditional Taoist concepts of matter and energy. For example, Einstein's famous equation, E equals mc squared, establishes as science establishes as scientific fact the ancient Taoist premise that matter and energy, what Taoists call essence and energy, are interchangeable. Magnetic fields function in complete accordance with yin yang theory, and no electric current could flow through any conductor without the yin yang polarity of positive and negative charges. In nuclear physics, we find yin and yang at work on the molecular level, for it is the push and pull of opposite forces that literally glues atomic particles together to form matter. But when those molecules are further taken apart, we suddenly discover that they cease to exist altogether as matter. Instead, they become vibrating bundles of pure energy, organized in certain patterns that give the illusion of solidity when viewed from a distance. This fact takes some of the mystery out of the ancient Taoists and Buddhists tenet, quote, "Form is void and void is form," unquote. For what we see that, as Einstein called, it's all relative to the observer's viewpoint. When form is taken down to its ultimate constituents, we find nothing but void. And when the pure energy of void is closely organized in rhythmic patterns, it begins to appear and function as form. Yin and yang are ever present in modern life, but we usually fail to recognize them. The airplane you ride across continents and oceans moves forward due to the principle of jet propulsion. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Thus, the forward motion is nothing more than a relative byproduct of the combustive thrust coming out the back of the engines. Modern nutritional science speaks of the vital importance of a balanced diet and of the biochemical reactions of certain food combinations in the stomach, such as acid alkaline, protein carbohydrate, sodium phosphorus, etc. This is nothing more than yin and yang in modern dress, the same principles the Chinese have been using to unlock the secrets of the universe ever since the heyday of the Yellow Emperor 5,000 years ago. The Chinese have a remarkable capacity for adopting and adapting foreign ways and adjusting themselves successfully to modern times, but they never do so at the expense of their own deep seated Taoist beliefs. They regard their ancient traditions as complementary, not contradictory to science and technology. This attitude is itself a complement of yin and yang, with traditional Taoist philosophy providing the intuitive yin element and modern Western science providing the rational yang. Together, yin and yang form the whole picture, and each prevents the other from distorting things in its own particular light. This complementary blend of traditional culture and modern science has been the key factor in the incredibly rapid and efficient modernization of East Asia over the past 40 years. If the Western world were only able to absorb Eastern philosophy as readily as the Eastern world has absorbed Western technology, it would work wonders for the many modern malaises of contemporary urban lifestyle in industrialized Western societies. Though the term of modern science and traditional Taoism may be different, the conclusions are absolutely the same. And since Lao Tzu said, quote, "The name which can be named is not the real name," we need not fuss about the names and will focus instead on the forces and relationships to which they refer.